So today we're going to talk about how to build for our financial future through smart savings and investment strategies adapted for an affluent city with high living costs such as Singapore. Now before we dive into it, remember that it is actually possible to invest and save meaningfully even with a tight budget and in an expensive country. Let's start with CPF contribution. Gosh, I think I honestly avoided looking at my CPF account for the first 3 years of working. I knew it existed, but it also felt like this mysterious government thing that I'll deal with when I'm older. And one day, out of pure boredom, I logged into the CPF website and I was absolutely shocked. I had $15,000 sitting there. $15,000 that I had completely forgotten about earning interest, just waiting for me to actually understand what it was for. And here's what's actually happening. Singapore has built one of the most sophisticated financial ecosystems in the world, specifically designed to help young people build wealth. But for most of us, we treat it like some boring government bureaucracy. We're sitting on financial tools that other people in other countries would absolutely kill for, and we're ignoring them because, well, they don't come with the flashy marketing campaigns. Think of it this way. Your CPF isn't just a retirement account. It's a forced savings program with guaranteed returns. While your friends are losing money chasing meme stocks, your CPF ordinary account is quietly earning 2.5% annually. Now that's better than most savings accounts with zero risk. And the special account? 4% annually, guaranteed. It's like this. Imagine if the government said, hey, we'll take 20% of your salary and put it in a special account that earns better interest than most banks, and you can use it to buy a house or retire comfortably. You probably think that, hey, that sounds pretty good, right? That's literally what CPF is. But because it's automatic, we don't appreciate it. Let me break down what's actually available to young adults in Singapore right now. First, Robo-advisors. Now, these aren't some futuristic concepts. They're here, they're regulated, and they're designed for people who don't have time to research stocks all day. Endowers, Syfe, Stashaway, these platforms will build and manage a diversified portfolio for you, starting with as low as $100. But here's where it gets more interesting. The government isn't just providing these tools, they're actively encouraging young people to use them. MoneySense offers free financial literacy courses. There are bursaries for investment education. The Monetary Authority of Singapore runs campaigns specifically targeting young adults. This isn't accidental, it's policy. And here's what's really fascinating. SGFinDex is basically a financial x-ray of your entire life. One platform that shows you your bank accounts, insurance policies, investment portfolios, CPF balances, and even your HDB loan status. It's like having a personal financial dashboard that updates in real time. And it's free. And it's secure. And most people don't even know it exists. Think about this scenario. You're applying for your first home loan and a bank asks for financial statements from 5 different institutions. Normally, you will have to spend days gathering the documents, visiting branches, printing statements. With SGFinDex, you just log in and export everything in just one click. It's like having a financial concierge service, except it's provided by the government. So how do we actually take advantage of these tools? It starts with understanding your risk profile. Are you conservative, moderate, or adventurous? And this isn't about your personality, it's about how much volatility you can handle in your investments. A conservative 22-year-old might choose government bonds, while an adventurous 22-year-old might choose growth stocks. Here's my approach to Singapore's financial ecosystem. First, I maxed out my understanding of CPF. I learned about the ordinary account, special account, and MediSave. And then I set up automatic transfers to a robo-advisor for anything beyond my emergency fund. Finally, I used SGFinDex to track everything in one place. Now, it just took one weekend to set up, and now it runs automatically. And here's what's really happening when you don't engage with these systems. You're essentially leaving your money on the table. Your CPF is earning interest whether you understand it or not. Government financial literacy programs are available whether you take it or not. Robo-advisors are building wealth for other people whether you use it or not. The truth is, Singapore's government has designed a financial system that assumes you are going to make good decisions. CPF contributions are mandatory because they know most people won't save voluntarily. Robo-advisors are regulated and promoted because they know most people won't learn to invest manually. These aren't restrictions, they are safeguards. It's like this. Singapore's financial infrastructure is like a really good gym. All the equipment is there, is well maintained, there are trainers available, and there are programs for every fitness level. But you still have to show up and use it. The government can provide you with all the tools, but they can't make you use them. And here's where it gets really powerful. When you combine these tools, the CPF for guaranteed returns, Robo-advisors for market exposure, SGFinDex for oversight, and the government education programs for knowledge, you're not just wielding wealth, you're building financial literacy. You're becoming the kind of person who understands money rather than someone who just hopes it works out. The reality is, most countries make financial planning complicated and expensive. Singapore has made it simple and accessible. But simple doesn't mean automatic. You still need to log in, set up your accounts, make decisions, and monitor progress. The tools are there, but the engagement is required. So the next time you're tempted to ignore CPF statement or dismiss robo-advisors as too complicated or assume that government financial programs are boring, remember this. Singapore has built a financial ecosystem specifically designed to help young people succeed. The question isn't whether the tools work, it's whether you'll use them. And the best time to start, right after you finish watching this video. So this one time I was scrolling through TikTok and I saw a 19-year-old claiming he made $50,000 in 6 months using a micro-investing app. The video had 2.3 million views. I mean, the comments were flooded with people asking, what app, teach me. And I thought this was either the future of investing or a complete disaster waiting to happen. Turns out, it's both. And here's what's happening globally. Young adults are completely rewiring how investing works. We're not sitting in bank meetings, wearing suits, discussing portfolio allocations. We're investing our spare change from coffee purchases, following ESG trends because we care about the planet, and making financial decisions based on TikTok videos. And somehow, it's actually working. Think about it this way. Previous generations, they had to save $1,000 minimum to start investing, and then pay hefty fees to financial advisors. Now, your spare change from buying bubble tea automatically get invested in a diversified portfolio. Stash Away Simple rounds up all your purchases and invests the difference. That's not just convenient, it's revolutionary. I mean, remember when you had to go to a video rental store to watch a movie? Well, guess what? Now, tap Netflix and you can start watching. Investing used to be like those shops, complicated, expensive, intimidating. Micro-investing apps are like Netflix, simple, affordable, and designed for instant gratification. Let me break down what's actually happening in the global young adult investing space. First, micro-investing has just exploded. Apps like Acorns in the US, Res in Australia, and our own Stash Away Simple are turning spare change into investment portfolios. Globally, over 50 million young adults are now investing amounts they previously would have just spent on random purchases. And here's where it gets really interesting. I mean, these platforms aren't just making investing accessible, they're making it social. You can see what your friends are investing in, share returns, even compete in investment challenges. It's like Instagram, but for your portfolio. And while that sounds fun, it also creates some dangerous herd behavior. Young adults globally are driving the biggest shift towards sustainable investing in history, ESG, environmental, social, and governance. Investing used to be a niche market for wealthy do-gooders. Now it's mainstream. Nearly 75% of young investors globally consider ESG factors when making investment decisions. Think of this scenario. Your friend posts their investment portfolio on social media, showing that 30% returns from some clean energy fund. Within hours, dozens of people are asking for details and copying the investment. 6 months later, the fund crashes because everyone piled in at the same time. That's social investing in action. Powerful for spreading information, dangerous for creating bubbles. So how do we navigate this new landscape of gamified social micro-investing? It starts with understanding that technology has democratized investing, but it hasn't eliminated risk. Those apps that make investing feel like a game, while they're still dealing with real money and real market volatility. So here's my approach to global investing trends. I use micro-investing apps for building habits. The automatic spare change investment teaches me to think like an investment daily. But I don't make major decisions based on social media trends. I research ESG funds because I care about sustainability, not because everybody else is doing it. So what's really happening behind the scenes? Now, these fintech platforms are collecting massive amounts of data about young adult spending and investing habits. They know exactly what triggers us to invest more, what makes us panic and sell, and how to keep us engaged with their apps. We're not just users, we are the product being optimized. The truth is, young adults globally have a massive advantage that previous generations didn't have. Starting to invest at 22 instead of 32 doesn't just give you 10 extra years, it gives you the full power of compound interest. Even $50 monthly invested at 22 can become $400,000 by retirement, assuming 7% annual returns. Imagine if you could plant a tree that doubles in size every 7 years. Planting it at 22 means that it doubles 6 times before you're 64. Planting it at 32 means it only doubles 5 times, and that one missed doubling represents hundreds of thousands of dollars in lost growth. That's the power of starting young. But here's where the global trends get really powerful. When you combine micro-investing with ESG focus, social learning with individual research, gamification with long-term thinking, you're not just building wealth, you're building a generation of investors who care about both returns and impact. The reality is, young adults globally are facing the same challenge: how to build wealth in an economy that's more complex, more expensive, and more uncertain than ever before. But we are also the first generation with tools sophisticated enough to handle complexity. The question isn't whether technology will change investing, it's whether we use it wisely. So the next time you see an investing trend on social media, or download a new micro-investing app, or consider putting money in an ESG fund, remember this: you are part of a global movement that's reshaping how wealth is built. The tools are better, the access is greater, the time advantage is massive. But trends come and go. Smart investing habits last forever. And starting young, well, that's one trend that never goes out of style.